Hello, I'm Laura.
Hi, I'm Adam.
And welcome to session 3 of the Healthy Minds Survival Guide to Change workshop series. If you've joined us before for the 2 previous workshops, you'll be aware that we've designed this to support young people coping around times of uncertainty and change, such as during the COVID-19 pandemic. This workshop today will focus on staying emotionally well. We have created 5 in total in the series, so do check them all out. This workshop has been designed for children aged 10 plus. If you have children sort of around the age of 10, they may find that they need help from a parent or carer to complete this workshop and understand the strategies. For children under 10, they might find that they don't understand these strategies, but parents, carers or any other adult working or supporting a young person are more than welcome to take a look at these videos and to implement some of the strategies with the young person yourself.
Throughout the workshop today, we're going to teach you lots of new strategies that you can use to help in times of uncertainty and change. Items that you are going to need to help you through the workshop is the booklet, which you can find online next to where you found the workshop. If you don't have a printer, that's fine, just grab some paper. Other items you may need are coloured pencils and pens. As I mentioned before, you're going to learn lots of new strategies, and there's going to be plenty of opportunity to practice these as we work through the workshop. Most importantly though, it's just about having fun. So if you want to go and grab all your bits, we'll get started. Welcome back, guys. Have you got all your bits? So let's have a look at the aims of today's workshop, what we're going to look at. So by the end of the workshop today, you should be able to understand the benefits of sleep, diet and exercise. You will understand how to create a good routine. You will keep yourself physically healthy. Learn ways to keep yourself physically healthy and understand the 5 steps to emotional well-being.
So as Adam mentioned, we're going to have a little think first of all about sleep, diet and exercise. But just before we get onto that, I want to talk to you a little bit about emotions. So what are they? And what does it mean to be emotionally well? I want you to have a think now, just for a few minutes, and jot down as many emotions that you can possibly think of. You can pause the video to do this now and just press play when you're ready. Welcome back. How did you get on? Here are a few examples of emotions we've thought of, but there are lots of different emotions. You could feel happy, sad, afraid, angry, surprised, jealous, embarrassed, or hopeful. We might think of these different emotions in terms of being good or bad, and that to be emotionally well, we just need to feel the good emotions. However, all of our emotions are really important and they give us information about what we're experiencing. At any time, but particularly during times of change, we can experience a variety of emotions throughout the day, and sometimes it can feel like being on a roller coaster, where we sometimes feel on the up and very emotionally well, and other times drop and might feel a bit low. In session 1, we had a look at how change impacts on us, our coping styles, and how this affects our body. And in session 2, we looked at worries and how to manage these. In this session, we're going to look in more detail at some things that support us to feel as good as we can, to look after our minds and our bodies, and in turn how this supports our overall feeling of well-being. It's a bit like a jigsaw. There isn't a magic thing that you can do that makes you feel good. It's all the little parts that add up to make a difference.
Welcome back. So now we're going to look at sleep, diet and exercise. So an important part of the jigsaw is making sure that we have plenty of sleep, we have a balanced diet and that we keep ourselves moving. So what I would like you to do now is to turn to page 23 of your booklet and have a go at the quiz. You can pause the video and come back to me once you've finished. Welcome back. Okay, let's have a look at the answers in our sleep, diet and exercise quiz, true or false. Question 1. Bananas can help you sleep and reduce anxiety. That is true. Bananas, cashews and leafy vegetables are full of potassium and magnesium, which are natural muscle relaxants, which help to improve sleep and reduce anxiety. Question 2. Energy drinks are harmless. That one is false. Energy drinks generally contain extra large doses of caffeine. High doses are not recommended for children and teenagers. They can cause sleep difficulties and also mental health problems. Question 3. Skipping breakfast can help you think more clearly. That's false. Eating breakfast has been linked to better performance at school, college and work, and it helps prevent mid-morning mood energy dips. Question 4. It is recommended that we exercise for half an hour a day, 3 days a week. That's false as well. The World Health Organization actually recommended that young people exercise moderately, still being able to hold a conversation for 60 minutes a day, 7 days a week. Question 5. Drinking lots of water can help you concentrate. That's true. Water helps you flush out toxins in the blood, which helps you think more clearly. Question 6. Most young people need 8 to 10 hours of sleep per night. That one is true. So this can vary from person to person, but young people should get 8 to 10 hours of sleep. We will look at sleep more in a few minutes. Question 7. Increased levels of exercise during the day can help you sleep better at night. That one's true. Increased levels of even moderate physical activity can improve sleep quality among those who sleep poorly. Question 8. Being active is linked to better emotional well-being, reduction in stress levels and improved concentration. That's true. Exercise increases your brain power and improves your memory and concentration. Exercise also releases feel-good hormones into your body that give you a natural high, helping to reduce your stress levels. And question 9, chocolate gives you energy. Sadly, that is false. Chocolate contains caffeine and sugar. These can keep the brain buzzing and make you feel wired for a short period of time, but will leave you more tired afterwards. Well done for taking part. Research actually shows us that as well as affecting our physical health, what we eat may also affect the way that we feel. Improving your diet may help to improve your mood, give you more energy, and help you think more clearly. Exercise has many physical health benefits, but the endorphins which are released when you exercise can also help to improve mood, reduce worry, improve concentration and energy levels. It also helps to improve our self-esteem, self-control, and ability to rise to challenges. With social distancing, it can make it a bit harder at the moment. We can't go to group sports and activities like football and hockey. The rules for what we can do might change, so speak to your parents and carers about this to stay up to date, but we thought it would be helpful to think of some things you can do to exercise if things in groups are not possible. Why not visit the nhs.uk website and look on the Live Well/exercise and see if you can find any exercises on there that you may be able to complete at home.
Another important part of the jigsaw to be aware of is how much sleep we get. Sleep is important for both our physical and emotional health, and it can also improve how much we get done in a day and how we enjoy our lives. Have a look and work out how much sleep you might need a night. Is this how much sleep you're currently getting? If you aren't getting enough sleep, you might feel tired and not have the focus and energy you want to have to do all the things you want to do in the day. If you completed session 2, you will remember we looked at sleep in the problem-solving exercise, so you may already have an idea of how you want to improve your sleep routine. Let's have a look at another example. If we imagine someone called Fred, who's 13 years old, and Fred normally gets up for school at 7 a.m, but he's been off school and getting up later and later each day. He's currently getting up around 11 a.m. This means that he's wide awake when everyone else is starting to get tired and feels grouchy when he gets woken up because he hasn't had enough sleep. To help with this, Fred could look at problem solving and work out his best approach. Fred might decide to set a goal of going to bed half an hour earlier and getting used to that, and then gradually move the time until he falls asleep at around 9 p.m. when he normally would. In a few slides, we're going to look at something called a daily planner. The new bedtime Fred sets will form an important part of his plan.
If you struggle with sleep, there are some things you can do. Firstly, get into a good sleep routine. Try to wake up and go to bed at the same time each day, even on weekends. A regular nightly routine helps the body recognise that it's time for bed. This could be having a nice warm shower or bath, reading a book, or listening to some light relaxing music. Make your bedroom sleep friendly. It should be cool, quiet and dark. Make sure your mattress and pillow are comfortable. Make sure you get enough exercise, as this can help you fall asleep easier. Exercising helps to improve sleep quality and doesn't have to be strenuous. Walking or cycling are just fine. Be aware that some people find that exercising too close to bedtime can leave you pumped up and wide awake, which can make it harder to get to sleep. Try not to spend too much time in bed when you're not sleeping. For example, playing games, watching films, or eating, as this can confuse our bodies and keep us awake. Make sure you're spending some time relaxing before bed, aiming to stop using electronics at least 30 minutes before you go to sleep, as this can make your brain think it's still daytime.
Next, we're going to look at the 5 ways to wellbeing. This was developed by a team looking at lots of research from across the world, and they found that small changes can have a big impact on how we feel and how we function. Let's look at them now in more detail. The first one is take notice, or you might have heard it referred to elsewhere as mindfulness. Relaxing and focusing on the present instead of thinking about the past or the future can help to improve your emotional well-being and lighten negative feelings. Mindfulness and relaxation can positively change the way you feel about life and how you approach challenges. There are lots of different relaxation and mindfulness exercises you can try. Just find what works best for you. Healthy Minds have created lots of short, useful videos focusing on different relaxation strategies, which you can find on our website. The next is be active. We know how important it is to keep our bodies moving. This can be walking, running, riding a bike, dancing. Have a think about what you enjoy doing. Then we have giving. Whether that be giving your time by volunteering to help with something or creating something, thanking someone, smiling, checking in on a friend. They're all really important things. Giving not only makes others feel good, but it makes us feel good too, so it's win-win. Learning how to do something we didn't know how to do before brings such a sense of achievement. Setting small, achievable goals is key to keeping going. Learning to be okay with not being able to do something yet and building your skills is really important. There are so many new learning opportunities at the moment as people are sharing more resources online. You are learning new things right now by taking part in this workshop. The strategies you learn with us will all take practice, so give them a try and work out what suits you best. The last one is connect. We are going to look at this in much more detail in session 4. Making sure we take time to connect with family and friends is really important to our well-being. Putting whatever activity you're doing down and sitting for a meal with your family and talking or having a video chat with a loved one can really lift your mood. We would now like you to turn to page 25 of your booklet and have a think about what you're already doing in each of these areas and what you might like to do. You can now pause the video to complete this activity. Once you're ready to move on, just press play.
So now we are going to take a look at self-care. So self-care is something that we do to take care of our physical health and our emotional well-being. Self-care shouldn't be something that we force ourselves to do. It should be something that we enjoy doing and enable us to refuel. Self-care produces positive feelings and enhances our confidence and self-esteem. It can remind us that we need to take care of ourselves. It's important to take care of ourselves and take us away from negative thoughts. A good way of practicing self-care is to create a self-care fortune teller. Dead easy to use. You can find lots of instructions online of how to make them, but I'll give you an example now. Laura, pick a colour.
Blue.
Blue, so then you spell out blue, B-L-U-E. Pick a number 2, 3, 6, 7.
2.
1, 2. Pick a number 2, 3, 6, 7.
7.
And then we'd have a look, and under there, so an idea of self-care is go for a walk. And you can put any ideas that you might want to in your fortune teller. You may find that you don't want to make a fortune teller and you want to look at creating different ideas for recording your self-care. So you could look at writing a journal, you could do some mindful colouring, you could do some exercise, you could take the dog for a walk, you could listen to some music, have a hot bubble bath. What I'd like you to do now is turn to page 26 in your booklet. Pause the video and have a go at writing down some different activities that you could use for your self-care, and then come back to us when you're ready.
Another thing that can be really helpful during times of change is thinking about getting creative or how we might express ourselves. So we can do this in lots of different ways, and have a think about what you might like to do as an individual. So you might want to paint, draw something, or even build something. For those of you who are maybe into cooking, you might want to think about creating a new recipe and making a meal for your family. Some of you might be into music and writing songs, or you might want to write a story or write a poem even. The most important thing to remember is it isn't about it having to be 100% perfect. We're not asking you to be Picasso or display your new piece of creativity in a gallery. It isn't about also thinking about how many likes you might get on social media. It's about how expressing yourself makes you feel good and having fun during a difficult time of change. Next, to help you a little bit more with change, we're going to move on to talking about routines.
Everyone's routines will have changed a lot since being at home, but as life starts to go back to normal, it's important to get yourself back into a good routine. Have a look now on pages 27 and 28 in your booklet for some top tips and a daily planner you can use. A big part of what our routine will look like is what time we go to bed and wake up. So if you know you've been going to bed really late, then you could set a goal of moving your sleep time forward by half an hour. We discussed earlier, and when you feel that you have achieved this, move your sleep time forward again. It can be really hard to get from waking up late to waking up early, so taking baby steps to get there is much easier and can feel less overwhelming. When you know your sleep and waking up times, you can start writing the routine things into your planner, like brushing your teeth and eating lunch. Then have a think what else would be good to have in your day. Some time to focus on schoolwork. Maybe you know that you find it easier to do trickier work in the morning, so you could plan this then. If you have completed session 2 and you think that worry time would be helpful to you, you can plan this in too. Just remember to make sure it's not too close to bedtime. It's also important to make sure you allow time for self-care and activities you enjoy. Make sure you allow at least half an hour for this in your routine every day. As we said before, it is all about balance. There are things we have to do each day to stay healthy, but we can make our day more fun by having a balance of activities. It could be simple things like when you have done something that you have really had to focus on hard to use your brain, you may want to think of your next activity and do something more physical or more creative where you don't have to think so hard. Try using a routine diary and set yourself small, achievable goals each day. Let's have a go now. Think of 3 small goals you would like to achieve tomorrow. They could be things like spending half an hour doing exercise, spending half an hour on a subject you find super tricky, playing a game with your family, or tidying my bedroom for half an hour. Think about ways you can make things that might seem a bit boring a bit more fun, like having music on while you tidy your bedroom, or making it a challenge to see how much you can get done. After you've completed a goal, you could celebrate or reward yourself. So for example, my goal might be I'm going to spend an hour doing some English homework, and as a reward, I'm going to have 15 minutes playing in the garden with my dog. Pause the video now and have a go at writing some goals. Once you're ready to move on, just press play.
Welcome back. School and other places we go to may be very different at the moment, but this is okay, and we can use the skills we already have and ones we've learnt to adapt to these new changes. Remember when we talked about feeling unpleasant feelings in our body earlier, like our hearts beating faster or our breathing increasing if we're nervous? Just remember that while this doesn't feel nice, it won't harm you. You're okay and you're not alone. Everyone is having to adjust to new changes with you. It's really important that we do our best to look after ourselves and others, and part of handling change is accepting what is in our control. We can't make others do things, but we can be responsible for what we do. That is in our control. Ways we can do this are by washing our hands for 20 seconds with soap and warm water, avoiding touching our faces, catching coughs and colds in a tissue or in the bend of your elbow, letting our parents or carers know if we're starting to feel unwell. At the moment, it's also really important to social distance and stay 2 metres apart from people where you can. Advice from the government may change, and depending on when you're watching this video, the advice might be slightly different over time. So it's important to keep up to date with the latest official advice. But try not to watch the news and media too much, as this can cause you to worry. Also aim not to compare yourself to other people who might be finding adjusting to any changes a little easier than you. Remember that we're all different, so don't beat yourself up. If you're having a bad day, just remember that tomorrow is a new day and a chance for a fresh start. So we've now completed the third workshop in our series on our survival guide to change. As I've mentioned previously, there are 5 in total, so do check all these out. If you missed the first 2, you might want to have a look back over them so you understand the content and haven't missed anything. But do make sure that you fully understand the content that we've covered today and the strategies that we've looked at before moving on to the next workshop, which will be around staying connected. We hope to see you there.
Sometimes we may find it difficult to cope with change by ourselves, and that's fine. But it is really important to remember there are lots of great services out there that you can contact if you feel that you want to speak to somebody or feel that you'd benefit from the support from somebody else. Just take a look at the slide just for some examples of some great services.
So a massive thank you for joining us. As I mentioned before, there are 5 videos in this series in total, so do please check all of them out. If you are particularly interested in relaxation and mindfulness, which fits quite well with the content on staying emotionally well, which we've looked at today, you might want to take a look at some of the short videos that Healthy Minds Lincolnshire have created on our website around relaxation and mindfulness. And finally, also you will find a link next to this video for feedback, which is called the Survey Monkey. Please do give us 2 minutes of your time to let us know what you think about this content and the videos. We'd really love to hear from you. So once again, big thank you, and we hope to see you next time.